Hello, everyone. Today we will be presenting information about the different college options that are available right after high school. We hope that you find the information useful and take it with you when it's your time to apply to different colleges. My name is Natalie. I'm a fourth-year psychology major, also minoring in hearing and speech sciences.
Hi, I'm Tally. I'm a third-year education science major with a minor in psychology.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm a fifth year majoring in psychological science and minoring in sociology. So our topics for today are 4 systems of higher education, benefits of seat of a community college.
And we have transferring to a 4-year, and then we have different types of financial aid.
We'll also be talking about application requirements and the DREAM Act.
So for the 4 types of higher education, we have trade school, 2-year college, 4-year, and graduate school. There are technically more terms for this, but these are like the 4 main that they all fall under. So first, we have trade or vocational school. They kind of go by both names, but basically it means a career focused or like a specific skill focused form of education. And it doesn't really require general education like classes like math, science, whatever, unless it's like related to like your major. And some examples of it would be like the California Career Institute, the San Joaquin Valley College, and then the West Valley Occupational Center. It's just a little picture I like that shows 10 best jobs without a 4-year college degree, because that's kind of what trade schools are known for. It's for people who kind of like, they're like, I know what I want to do and just do 2 years of that and not really like do 2 years of general education, figure out kind of what they want to do because they know what they want to do. But these are kind of some of the common ones. I feel like people always think it's just like carpenter, like being a carpenter or being an electrician, but it's like, you know, you can be a respiratory therapist, you can be a paralegal, like there's lots of cool things you can do. So the next is the community or junior college. And basically it's like a college where anybody can enroll as long as they live in the community, except for with COVID now that classes are online, you don't really have to live in the community and as long as you live in California, but like, it's just a 2-year college basically that, yeah, you can transfer to a 4-year from usually. And the main benefits of community colleges is like saving money because you'll be living at home for 2 years and you're gonna pay rent for 2 years less, and the tuition's cheaper. You can get into a better 4-year degree because admissions statistics show that you're more likely to get in to schools that you to schools like once you transfer from community college instead of going straight out of high school. You can get an AA or an AS degree. You can learn a specific skill like something like Spanish or like how to cook. Like you don't just have to go there like to get a degree. You can go there just to learn a skill. You can explore your interests before committing to like an actual like major and like having to pay like X amount for this degree. Also, once you transfer, you only have to take classes in your major, so you get all the like boring classes, I guess, out of the way when it's like less interesting. And then once you get to like the school you actually want to go to, it's all the classes you're really passionate about. So that's fun. We have a 4-year college. So basically, it offers undergraduate degree program in a specific area of study. Some schools have you can like apply as undeclared. Most of the time as a transfer student, you can't just because they expect you to kind of know what you want to do by then. Some schools have like exceptions to that, but most of the time that's the case. Some schools around here that are 4-year colleges are of course UCI, and then we have CSU Northridge or like CSU Long Beach or any of those.
So next we're going to talk about graduate school. So what is graduate school? So after you graduate with a bachelor's from a 4-year university, you can choose whether you want to continue your education through graduate school. Many graduate schools tend to be 4-year universities such as UCLA, University of Washington, Madison, UC Berkeley, Stanford, Cal State Fullerton, UCI, and other schools, and they have to be credited, meaning that they have to have proof that they actually give degrees such as a master's in arts, science, or business administration. There's also doctorates. They offer doctorates, which are, they have 2 types. So a doctor of philosophy and a professional doctorate degrees. Sometimes they can take longer than expected than masters. So masters can, when you want to go for a master's, they can take about 2 years. And then for a doctorate degree, they can take about 4 years or more. depending on what your focus is really on. And the last question would be, do I have to go to graduate school? Yes and no. It depends whether you want to expand on your career options and become an expert in the field focus, such as if you want to focus on education, you can do research on education. You can also try to become like a professor. So things like that are related to why people go to graduate school. So most careers that land on science, law, and medicine do require a graduate degree.
So now we're gonna debate public versus private. There's definitely benefits and or nice strengths and weaknesses to both options, but I'm just gonna kind of give you the highlights of both of them. So this is kind of something cool about California community colleges. I mean, sorry, not community college, California public four-year universities. As all these statistics are about UCs, but basically, according to their info sheet, they on average come up with 5 inventions a day, which is pretty cool because a lot of private schools don't focus on research so much. I mean, there's lots of them that do, but UCs have like a really big emphasis on them. Also, 30% of UC students are transfer students, so that really gives a good opportunity for like some social mobility to happen. You know, if you never thought you can make it to college, well, guess what? You probably can. And then lastly, 40% of them are first generation students. So if you really thought you couldn't make it to college, well, guess what? You really can. For private school, they're typically more expensive. However, the class sizes are smaller. So if if like the cost benefit analysis to you, like if paying extra for that benefit is worth it for you, then that's totally worth it. And I'm not saying that all public universities have huge class sizes, but I'm just saying that typically in private schools, it will be smaller and they will be less research focused for sure.
Okay, so when transferring to a university from community college, it can be a little intimidating, but they do have great resources and support. The main steps to remember is to talk to your academic counselor, complete required coursework, apply for financial aid, and decide what school provides the best resources for you. Okay. There is specific coursework that must be completed to be able to transfer from a community college to a university. Most Cal States and UCs take IGETI completion into consideration. IGETI is a series of courses that satisfy freshman and sophomore level under general education courses at the university of your choice. Completing this curriculum will put you in a more competitive edge and will allow you to graduate in a timely manner. UCs and Cal State universities also have their own set of requirements of completing 60 semester units or 90 quarter units with a GPA of 2.0 or above. There are 6 different UCs that offer guaranteed admission to students from different California community colleges. Students who are interested must meet campus-specific requirements to ensure their admission to the university of their choice. Although TAG isn't a requirement to transfer, it is recommended and suggested. Only students transferring directly from a California community college are considered for TAG, including international students with a visa.
For application requirements, we have the SAT and the ACT. We have the UC and CSU applications, and then the DREAM Act if you are undocumented. So for the SAT, basically prior to COVID, it used to be required. It was a way for them to basically, they got a lot of applicants. It was basically that they were, I'm gonna start out. Anyways, now what they're doing is that it's not required for the majority of college admissions because it's basically not everyone can get to the ACT and SAT. And there's been lots of research that it's not really the best measure of intelligence or anything like that. So yeah, lots of schools are getting rid of it, even like the standardized testing to get into grad school as well.
Application process between Cal State universities and UCs is quite similar. They both take your academic history into consideration, extracurricular activities, and test scores. But the main difference between the two is that Cal State universities, you must apply for each school individually as opposed to a UC application, where one application goes to however many schools you would like to apply to. And also UCs take a more holistic approach and they take your personal statements into consideration. Let me repeat that. UCs also take a more holistic approach and require personal statements that reflect who you are as a person.
The DREAM Act is to help undocumented students receive financial aid from schools they are planning to attend. If you're undocumented and planning to go to college, you must fill out the California DREAM Act application rather than the FAFSA application. Just like the FAFSA, you must submit the California Dream Act application on March 2nd to get your application reviewed and hopefully get it approved. It does not have to be paid back. That's really fortunate. And information that is added in the application is not shared with the federal basis, so you're good. And then to learn more about the Dream Act, you can visit www.caldreamact.org. So for our next set of slides, we will be talking about the different kinds of financial assistance based on loans, grants, scholarships, and work study. So first off, subsidized loans and unsubsidized loans. There are two types of loans, like I said. The first one are pretty much offered once you complete the FAFSA if you qualify for it. Your school will decide how much you need. In order to receive this loan, you have to be an undergraduate student. Once you receive the loan, you can get a grace period, meaning that you don't have to pay it back 6 months after you graduate. On the other hand, unsubsidized loans are offered regardless of your income or financial need. And you can either apply as an undergraduate or a graduate student. Usually these loans have applied interest, meaning that they will start to charge you right away after you get the loan. So there will be no grace period in comparison to the subsidized loan. So be careful with that. So grants. Grants are usually federal aid that covers your school's fees. The most common ones that you find are usually the Pell Grants. They tend to be granted to students who identify as low income or come from a low income family. You don't have to pay for grants either. And then you can go to FAFSA.gov to learn more about the different types of grants that are usually available. Then there are scholarships. There will be multiple scholarship opportunities that the school provides or outside of school that you could sign up for. You don't even have to pay back the money after you get it. And here are some scholarship prompts that are usually found in scholarship applications. Why do you deserve this scholarship? Describe a time you demonstrated leadership. What person do you most admire and why? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Describe a challenge that you have overcome. How will this scholarship help you? And how have you contributed to your community? So usually these prompts can also be found in UC applications. Work study. This is usually money granted along with your financial aid. They can only be dispersed if you find a job that offers work study. Any leftover amount is returned and not dispersed to the student. However, you can only work around 20 hours a week to get your work study money since it is not considered a full-time job. Usually, financial aid provides $1,000 to $4,000 for your work study. Some examples of work study include being a tour guide on campus, an IT assistant, a tutor, peer educators that work with other students in different departments or programs on campus, an event organizer, which what I was back for the pandemic, and there are so many other available work study jobs that are on campus. All right, everyone, this is the end of our presentation. Thank you all for watching our presentation. And here are a couple of links where you can reach out to us via email, bridginganteaters@gmail.com, or you can visit our website where you can follow BAMP's social media accounts. All right, bye.